Welcome, everyone. Good evening. It's good to be together to mark the beginning of Shabbat, to take a break from the work of the week and to celebrate this special day. And this Shabbat, we have the extra special simcha, the honor of celebrating the bar mitzvah of Chase Price. Chase is here with his family and friends, and he's going to lead us in services tonight. And he's going to be called to the Torah tomorrow morning for the first time to mark his bar mitzvah. So Chase, we're so happy for you and happy to be celebrating with you and your family this Shabbat. Also want to welcome Caleb Seidler, local Shalom Park celebrity up on the bima. You all know Mr. Caleb? Yeah? Everyone knows Mr. Caleb. Caleb, we're happy to have you joining us up here tonight. So let's get started by welcoming in Shabbat with the bracha, the blessing over the Shabbat candles. Chase, I'm going to ask you to come on up with your family to lead us in the bracha, to lead us in the blessing, and I invite everyone to please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Chase, you're going to stay up here with us. You may be seated. Let's turn to the Sidurim, to the prayer books. It's the smaller of the two red books. And we open up to page 11. Kabbalat Shabbat, the service welcoming Shabbat, opens with the words, "Let us go and sing to God. Let us trumpet praise to our protector. Filled with thanks, we greet God as we raise our voices in song." Top of page 11, Chase leads us, L'chuner Anana.
L'chuner Anana, L'chuner Anana, L'chuner Anana, L'Adonai. L'chuner Anana, L'chuner Anana, L'chuner Anana, L'Adonai. Naria, Naria, L'tzor Yishenu Nikan Ma'fana Betoda. Naria, Naria, L'tzor Yishenu Piz Naria, Naria, L'chuner Anana, L'chuner Anana, L'chuner Anana, L'Adonai. L'chuner Anana, L'chuner Anana, L'chuner Anana, L'Adonai.
Turn to page 14. The heavens shall be glad and the earth rejoice. The sea and its fullness roar. The meadows and all that grows in them exult. Even the trees of the forest sing praise to God. In the middle of the page, the red arrow, Yismechu Hashamayim.
Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, umlav, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, umlav, Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz.
Turn to page 20. At the bottom of the page, Romamu.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'yispachavu leharkocho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'yispachavu leharkocho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki
Turn to page 23 as we welcome the Shabbat Kala, the Shabbat bride, with the words of Lecha Dodi. Chase will lead us in the first two stanzas on page 23. Then we turn to the final stanza, Boi v'Shalom, come in peace. At that moment, the tradition is to rise in our places and to face the doors of the congregation. Page 23, Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi, Lika Lika Kala, B'nai B'nai Shabbat Nikabela. Lecha Lecha Dodi, Lika Lika Kala, B'nai B'nai Shabbat Nikabela. Shamor v'zachor, b'dibur echad, Yishmiranu el ha'meichad, Adonai echad, U'shemo echad, V'shemo tiferet l'tila la 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 lecha lecha dodi, lika lika kala, B'nai b'nai Shabbat nikabela. Lecha lecha dodi, lika lika kala, B'nai b'nai Shabbat nikabela. Likat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor ha'berecha, lerosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'mashavah, la 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 lecha lecha dodi, lika lika kala, B'nai b'nai Shabbat nikabela. Lecha lecha dodi, lika lika kala, B'nai b'nai Shabbat nikabela. Ro'i v'shalom aterech bala, gam b'simcha u'b'tachala, toch emunah asegula. Boi chala tehila lecha lecha dodi, lika lika kala, B'nai b'nai Shabbat nikabela. Lecha lecha dodi, lika lika kala, B'nai b'nai Shabbat nikabela.
May be seated. Chase, thank you so much for getting us started. Yashar Koach. Let's turn to page 27. It's good to thank you, O God, to sing your name most high, to proclaim your love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night. Page 27, Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat.
I always like to say the week brings so many good things into our lives, so many challenges into our lives, and sometimes when we come to synagogue, we don't even know the words that we want to share with God in that moment in community. And so we use a beautiful melody to carry our feelings right directly up to heaven. And this is a beautiful melody for Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat. Join together. Yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, lai, lai. Yai, lai, 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 la, lai, 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 yai, lai, lai, lai. Yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, lai. Yai, lai, lai, yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 lai. Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat. Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. U'zamer l'shimcha elyon. U'lezamer l'shimcha elyon. Lehagid baboker chastecha. Ve'emunatcha ba'leilot. Alei asor va'alei navel. Alei higayon ve'chi Ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Tzadika tamar yifrach, ke'erez balvanon yizke, shetulim beveit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu. Odiru mitzevad shinim brananim yehu lehagi ki ashar Adonai turi velo havlata bo.
Page 29.
Adonai malaki lavesh lavesh Adonai uzitazar aftikon de balapalitimot mikolot mayim rabim adirim ishpereyam adir bamarom Adonai erotecha nemnu milvetcha navakodesh Adonai leorech yamim.
Each Shabbat, we share words of bracha, we share words of blessing from Jewish tradition. Our oldest blessing, the priestly blessing at home. We bless our children and our family members. Here in Temple Israel, we share these words of bracha with the people around us in the community. So I'm going to ask everyone to please rise and take a moment, go wish the people around you Shabbat Shalom. And as we get ready for this bracha, I want you to look around and make sure that everyone is next to somebody. Because when we share this blessing, pull the people around you together. We're going to share this bracha around. We join together words of priestly blessing. Yevarechecha.
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha. We join together. Ein yehi ratzon.
May God bless you and keep you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha.
Ein yehi ratzon. May God lift up God's face toward you and may God be gracious unto you.
Isa Adonai panav elecha v'yasim lecha shalom. Kein yehi ratzon yasim lecha shalom. Kein yehi ratzon yasim lecha shalom. Kein yehi ratzon.
May God grant you shalom, grant you peace. Ken yehi ratzon. May be seated. And we turn to our prayer for healing as we think of the people in our lives in need of physical and spiritual well-being this Shabbat. If you'd like to include someone in the prayer for healing, I invite you to rise in your place and to share the names of the people you're praying for when I come to you. At Kol HaCholim and all those who are ill, we join together a prayer for healing.
Let's join together. Yisheberach avotenu mikor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Yisheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Turn to the Mourner's Kaddish on page 30, and I invite those in mourning or marking a yortzeit to rise and join me in the words of the Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba v'yalma divera kirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael v'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shemei rabba mevorach leolam olamei olmaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha brihu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran v'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru amen. May be seated. Good Shabbos, everyone. So, when I woke up this morning, I saw an email that was not totally unexpected, but was still rather sad for me and for many of my rabbinic colleagues. And it was an email about a teacher of ours at JTS, a man named Rabbi Eliezer Diamond. And he passed away this morning. It was a sad day for a lot of graduates of JTS because he had been a professor, a teacher of Talmud and rabbinic codes for about 35 years at the seminary. And he was a mentor and a scholar who'd guided really 30 years worth of students at JTS, taking them through complex texts. And it was not a surprise because he'd been ill for a number of years. But it was still a sad moment. And I thought I wanted this Shabbat to kind of reflect on the incredible role that a teacher has the opportunity to play in someone's life from the earliest ages up until graduate school, or really at any age. Rabbi Dr. Diamond, was really kind of a teacher par excellence. And he was an interesting character, that he grew up in the Orthodox world and he received his smicha, his ordination at Yeshiva University, a very traditional rabbinic ordination. And at some point he had a philosophical break with Orthodoxy and left that world and gravitated towards earning a doctorate at JTS in the conservative world and became kind of a teacher of academic Talmud study. But he always had a touch of the yeshiva in him, and he always really, really cared for his students. Now, he was a quirky guy. He was the type of teacher who, unfortunately, would miss a lot of classes and then schedule a makeup class on Sunday, which didn't make anyone happy. And then he would forget to show up on Sunday. But most people were willing to forgive him the occasional mishaps like that because of his excellence in teaching Talmud and making it feel so relevant, so important, so compelling, and explaining the skills to students who didn't have a lot of background. But really, as I said, for the way that he cared for his students. And over the time that I was at JTS as an undergraduate and as a rabbinical student, I took him for 7 semesters, which was more than any other teacher. Now it would have been 8. But the story why it wasn't 8 was one of those reasons that made him compelling. It was in college, and you had to finish a certain number of credits. And there was a Talmud class offered over the summer. It was really an introductory class. And he was teaching it, and I signed up for it because I needed a few extra credits to graduate. And I went into the class the first day, and he starts teaching, and it's one of these 2-hour classes with a break in the middle. And he says to me in the middle of the class, he says, "What are you doing here? You don't belong in this class. You don't need this." I said, "Well, I want to learn with you, and there's a Talmud class being offered." I was trying not to say, "I just need the credits to get out of here." And he said, "No, get out. You're not taking this class. Find something else to take." And it was because he said, and he was right. It was not a class that I would have benefited from. I would have been killing time. in the class, and he did not let me take that class, and I found another class to take, so I didn't hold that against him. But and sometimes you know, whether you're in any type of university setting, you encounter a certain number of professors who've been there for a very long time, and they come in, they teach their thing, and they don't really care otherwise. But as I said, going back to his caring, so came back for rabbinical school, and I hadn't had him for a while, and he ran into him one day, and he asked me, what area are you majoring in? And it's not called a major, but in rabbinical school you have to have a focus. And I said, I'm spending these 2 years studying liturgical music in the cantorial school. And he says, well, you're a good davener, but you really could be a great Talmud guy. He wanted me to go in that direction. Now we ended up, we talked about it for a while, and I didn't end up going in that direction, focusing on that in rabbinical school. But it was what touched me so much was that he knew who I was, that he knew my particular strengths, and that he cared enough to share it. And it was a beautiful feeling to know that you had a teacher like that. And I'm thankful that when he became sick a couple of years ago, he started kind of writing spiritual reflections on his treatment, what he was going through, that he would post on Facebook that students and colleagues would see. And it was one of his ways of processing, of dealing. And he would write these beautiful reflections. I can't imagine someone going through this who would be able to write about it so poetically and draw meaning from his experience. And I hadn't talked to him for a while, so I sent him a message, thanking him for that, wishing him, telling him I was keeping him in my prayers and strength, and then just shared, what he had meant to me, which was similar that he had meant to many other students. That when I came out of yeshiva and went to JTS, that he was just like a bridge. He was a welcoming face that made me feel comfortable as a student there and recognized, my particular skills. And it was something that I am so glad that I was able to say to him years after it had happened, but while he was still healthy enough to understand it. So his death was sad this morning, and I saw many of my colleagues reflecting on it. But I wanted to share a word of Torah that he wrote a couple of years ago. It kind of demonstrates both his quirkiness and his deep devotion to Jewish life, the way he saw every act in Jewish life as being important, as part of living a full Jewish life, living a spiritual life. And he tended to write about halakha, about Jewish law, and not so much a technical sense of it, although he could get very technical, but what do you get out of it from being so scrupulously adhering to these practices? And he wrote this little reflection. He said, one Friday, late as usual, as he often was, I was on my way to a friend's house for Shabbat dinner when I realized the sun was about to set and I would have to get off the bus. Since I was carrying a challah, I had a problem. How could I get where I was going without abandoning the challah, violating the rule against carrying on Shabbat outside an eruv, a halachic device that makes certain carrying permissible? So he wants to know, how can he, he's going to get off the bus because Shabbat's about to start and doesn't travel on a bus on Shabbat, but he's carrying something, and how can he keep carrying it? So he thought to himself, I relied on a passage from the Talmud that says if you are traveling on Friday afternoon with a wallet in your pocket and the sun sets at the beginning of Shabbat, you may carry the wallet for a distance of less than 4 cubits, a little less than 6 feet. This means that every 4 cubits you must stop and wait the time it would take to walk another 4 cubits before continuing on. And thus I progressed 4 cubits at a time from 85th Street to 98th Street. All you New Yorkers here can picture that. To my destination on Manhattan's Upper West Side. So, all right, a little bit quirky, willing to go with that. And I can imagine that was an interesting sight of him on the street, walking 6 feet, stopping. But, when you walk around Manhattan, you see lots of stranger things than that. But then he says, the story illustrates what it means to be a rabbinic Jew or halachic Jew. Though I appeared in the same time and space as all the other people walking up Broadway, I was suddenly in an alternate reality. I occupied a different time and space, a time called Shabbat, and a halachically constructed space 4 cubits long. He goes on to talk about how all of those little details of halakha create that space and that time around us, wherever we are, where we exist very much in the world, but also in our own little Jewish world that elevates us. And he concluded, if you want, you can read the whole piece, but he wrote, sometimes I just want to be left alone. But if I commit myself to this way of life, that's not really an option. My option is to calm down and hear the voice of God reflected through our texts. And the voice tells me, I want you to live a life of holiness, a lawful life. That's the call of God that I hear. It's really a beautiful reflection on what it means to live a Jewish life. And today, and I know going forward, I and many others will continue the way that Rabbi Eliezer Diamond taught us and inspired really countless conservative rabbis, actually rabbis of all denominations across the country. So I say, Yehi Zichro Baruch, may his memory be for a blessing. Shabbat Shalom. We continue with the Mariv, the evening service on page 39. Please rise for the Baruchu. Be seated. Blessed are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the day's division, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from before the light.
Adonai Tzevaot Shemo El Chai V'Kayam Tamid Mochalenu Leolam Va'ed Baruch Atah Adonai Hamari V'Aravi
Amen. Page 40.
Yehem Chayenu Ve'od Hachiyamenu Ubahem Negeyom V'Layla Ve'Vatchat Esmimenu Le'olamim Baruch Atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad V'ahavta את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, ובישעריך.
Continue on page 42.
Adonai Elohechem, Amen.
Then Moses, Miriam, and the people of Israel joyfully sang this song to you, Micha Mocha Ba'elim Adonai, top of page 44.
This is a TI Kids Sings favorite, so we couldn't not sing it. ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל לחנו שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נהדר בקודש Nora Tehila, Osefele. Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha mocha nedar ba'kodesh. Nora Tehilot, Osefele. And the river is standing between you and me and freedom, freedom. But we shall overcome one day. Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai מי כמוך נהדר בקודש נורא תהילות אוסף אלה ונאמר כיפת אדוני את יעקב וגלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גל ישראל.
Amen. Allow us, our God, to sleep peacefully and awaken us again to life. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow, and remove the evil forces that surround us. Blessed are you who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people of Israel, and over Jerusalem. Page 45, Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Dehamidenu Malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Dehamidenu Malkeinu l'chaim. When I lay down at night, when I rest my head, oh God, watch over me. And when the morning comes, we thank Adonai and pray for peace. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Vehamidenu Malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Vehamidenu Malkeinu l'chaim. Ushmor tzeitenu vohinu l'chaim u'shalom me'ata v'ad olam ufros lanu sukat shalomecha baruch ata Adonai haporei sukat shalom leil v'kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim.
Amen. Page 46, please rise.
Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל לעשות את השבת לדורותם לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. תשמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. תשמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. תשמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. תשמרו לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, יעלמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל, בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה. יתברך, יתברך וישבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, יתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי קודשא בריחו לעילם עם כל ברכתה ושירתה. תושבחתה
ונחמתה,
תמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן.
We spend the next few moments in silent prayer with the words of the Amidah, beginning on page 47.
So I noticed that many of us are wearing Hanukkah clothes today. I know I'm wearing all blue, and I see Hanukkah, I see menorahs and Hanukkah ties, and I see a lot of blue in our congregation because coming on Sunday night is Hanukkah. And I think it's always so beautiful that the Joseph story aligns with Hanukkah. Here's Joseph. Everything seems to be going wrong in his life, but he has faith that there's some divine plan for him. Even after his brothers hurt him and throw him in a pit, and he goes into the dungeons. I mean, he goes to the hardest place anybody could go, and yet he's interpreting dreams, he's aligned with God, and eventually he ends up saving everybody and fulfilling his divine mission. And I think that's the story of Hanukkah as well, that even when everything feels like it's being destroyed, even when it feels like darkness is everywhere, that just a little bit of light can last 8 days, and a little bit of light can push back the deep darkness or the deep adversity or the fractured society that we live in. So Hanukkah and Joseph go very well together. And not only do we want to share Hanukkah songs with you tonight on Shabbos, but I will use this opportunity to plug Thursday. What's Thursday? Thursday, December 18th, come to the Night Theater and celebrate Hanukkah together. Many of our TI Kids singers will be there. I promise it will be heartwarming and a wonderful way to celebrate the 5th night of Hanukkah. Oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Sevivon to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. Sevivon sof sof sof, Chanukah hu chag tov, Chanukah hu chag tov, Sevivon sof sof sof, Chag simcha hu la'am, Nis gadol haya sham, Nis gadol haya sham, Chag simcha hu la'am. And everyone's favorite? Have a little dreidel, I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, oh dreidel I shall play. Oh dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, oh dreidel I shall play. It has a lovely body with legs so short and thin. And when it gets all tired, it drops in, then I win. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, oh, dreidel I shall play. It has my dreidel's always playful. It loves to dance and spin. A happy game of dreidel. Come play now, let's begin. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, oh, dreidel, I shall play.
Ooh, I'm ready for Hanukkah. Continue on page 54, Kaddish Shalem. You can call Chase back to the bima because in a moment he's going to lead us in Kiddush. And kids, if you want to join us for Kiddush, come on up and join me over here, page 54, Kaddish Shalem.
Yiparach v'yishalach v'yiparach v'tumamina sevit azarvit levitel ashmei kud shabrichu leila min kol bechatav v'shiratav v'shbiratav v'nachmatav d'miran me'alma v'yimru amin tikabat chazon v'alton zol Yisrael kodam avhon v'yishmai v'yimru amin yisham aram amin shmai v'chemlin v'kol Yisrael v'yimru amin v'aseh shalom v'yimromav v'yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru amin
Amen. Page 55, we rise as Chase leads us in Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'achava uvratzon hinhilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh zecher letiyat mitrayim
Givanu v'acharta v'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha v'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu.
Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
Amen. L'chaim.
Koach Chase. We continue page 56 with Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakom לתת גדולה ליותר בראשית שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה שלא שם חלקנו כהם וגורלנו ככל המונם ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ ומושבי קרוב בשמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים הוא אלוהינו אין עוד אממכנו אפס זולתו ככתוב בתורתו וידעת היום בהשבות אל לבבך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל והארץ מתחת עיניו. הכתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
May be seated. We turn to the Mourner's Kaddish, page 58. This week we observe the yort sites of Beatrice Krauss, Gerald Feldman, Louis Greenspan, Martin Fryman, Nellie Liss, Rochelle Biber, William George, Benno Frank, Charles Robert Drucker, Isidore Jack Tepper, Jesse Funt, Mildred Ettingoff Fox, Oscar Bregman, Rose Bierman, Rose Leader, Samson Loeb Myers, Samuel Roth, Zoe Bunton Merrill, Dave Feingold, Irving Miller, Lillian Listhouse, Linwood Shields, Martin Lavner, Yetta Watnick, Aaron Muttel Ben Israel Abraham, Irving Cabot, Isidore Corzin, Mimi Benzel Gould, Samuel Strauss, Celia Katz-Lasack, David Allen Golden, Ellen Walker, Eva Feldman, Israel Rivera, Janie Berger Kane, Albert Walpin, Carol Gorelick, Hannah Korn, Francis Reich, Iris Spill, Leonard Hauser, Rebecca Dubin, Samuel Goodman, Sarah Levine, Bertram Morton Bloom, Charlotte Glazer, Fred Bergen, Louis Weiss, Mildred Thrope, Morris Friedland, Adoria Sylvia Goodman, Ann Marks Langman, Barbara Nathan Brenner, Betty Weiss, Burton Lasack, Dilla Jaffa, Hilda Coburn, and Solomon Falk. We also mark the recent passings of Howard Ross, Sandra Goldman, and Kirk Brink. All of their memories be for a blessing. Page 58, and invite those in mourning or marking a yortzeit to rise and join me in the words of the mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal, v'yitkadash, shemei rabbah, v'yalmad yivera kirutei, v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon, u'vyomechon, u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ha'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehi shemei rabbah mevorach le'olam olamei omayah, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei, v'yithadar, v'yit'aleh, v'yit'halal, shemei dekusha, brichu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tush v'chata v'nechemata, ta'amiran v'yalma v'yimru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, Yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru, amen. May be seated. Representing the Temple Israel Board of Trustees, I call on some, okay, I will share the announcements. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Again. All right, so I want to say Mazal Tov to Chase and his family on celebrating his bar mitzvah this Shabbat. Chase, great job starting off, and we're looking forward to seeing you in action tomorrow and calling you to the Torah for the first time. We want to thank the Price family also for sponsoring this week's Kiddush in honor of his bar mitzvah. We'll celebrate with you tomorrow. As Cantor beautifully shared, Hanukkah is coming up on Sunday night. Sneaks up on me very quickly. You should see her great interview on TV today promoting the concert. But we have lots of Hanukkah stuff coming up over the course of the next week. Tomorrow night, Men's Club in Wodi has their pre-Hanukkah Havdalah, which may be too late to sign up for, but good to know. It's a gathering in congregants' houses. We have about, I think, 80 people signed up to participate and to end Shabbat together in homes of different Temple Israel congregants. The still Hanukkah celebration is December 16th at noon, includes a luncheon and musical performance. The prime timers Hanukkah celebration is December 16th at 7:15 p.m. Latke bar, desserts, prizes, and more. Which brings us, of course, to December 18th to begin the night at 5 o'clock here at Temple Israel for a Hanukkah celebration and join sufganiyot, hot cocoa, community, and candle lighting outside in front of in our beautiful outdoor space. And then we'll finish in plenty of time to head to the concert at the Night Theater. I believe there's still tickets available. And join us for one or both of those. Next Saturday night, Men's Club celebrates Hanukkah with wontons and wisdom. Join together here for Havdalah and in Shabbat, lighting candles, and wisdom, and which is trivia, and Chinese food. And you can RSVP for all of these events online. And just a special appeal that in December, as it gets darker earlier, and as people get ready to go out of town, it gets more challenging to make a minyan, to have 10 adult Jews when we have our prayer services during the week in the chapel. And please consider taking a night and helping to make a minyan. It goes a really long way for people who want to come to pray and for people who want to come to say Kaddish. And a minyan is something that can only continue, can only thrive if the congregation as a whole takes responsibility for it. So please think about making one night your minyan night. And we're going to turn back to the Sidurim. We turn to page 5, beginning of the book, and we're going to conclude Kabbalat Shabbat in the middle of the page with the words of Shalom Aleichem. Tomorrow morning, Shabbat services at 9:30 a.m.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ay, ay, ay. Koachem l'shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyonim, Melech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu, l'shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyonim, Melech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Nil Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei HaMelachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu, Ayayay Tzidchem L'Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Mazel Tov.